Everyone, for episode number 80, we had on Mike Rima. He's the founder and CEO of Easy Equipment Rental based out of Dallas, Texas. Started the company about 7 or 8 years ago. Grew up really working in the automotive space, car dealerships, and got connected somewhat to ARA, saw the opportunity in equipment rental and started working part-time, became full-time, now has a team of about a dozen people working for him, thinking about expanding to a second location, just really successful. Talked a lot about how he serves his customers and the repeat business he gets. So that's been the primary force for their growth. And also talked about digital marketing has been a huge untapped area of growth for them as well. And the importance of digital ads, SEO, and even tweaking their ads every week based on what sort of utilization levels they have on their different pieces of equipment. So I've known Mike since the beginning, starting Quipli, and really enjoy Mike and what he's been doing. So hope you enjoy the episode. All right, everyone, welcome to the Rental Roundtable, episode number 80. We've got on Mike Rima. He's the founder and CEO of Easy Equipment Rental in Dallas, Texas. Mike, welcome to the show today.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see you, Mike. We've known each other for ever since I started Quipli. It's 4 or 5 years. We've seen you at the ARA show every year, so it's good to connect here. And you're an entrepreneur yourself. Started your company 2017, 2018 from scratch. A lot of people listening to this podcast are entrepreneurs or wanting to start a company, or they're on the journey. So excited to talk to you today about what's worked, what's not worked, and really how you've gotten this far today.
Well, I mean, I started the company in 2017 and I actually acquired all my equipment in ARA show in 2018 in New Orleans. And since then, I didn't look back. I changed a couple of locations. My old location was acquired, most of it was acquired by the state for the highway. And finally, I landed this location over here. It used to be a bank building and sits on 2 acres with a couple of big, beautiful buildings, very safe. Sits in a great location in a Hispanic neighborhood. There's a lot of Hispanic living over here. And it's been working very well. Prior to that, I was in the commercial truck business. I was buying and selling and renting some of box trucks, some bucket trucks, and little mini 12 and 14 passenger minivans. And one day I reached out to the ARA and Leon. He was my insurance rep in the area, came and he said, Mike, you should be in the equipment rental. And I said, well, I didn't know what equipment you're talking about. He said, scissor lift, boom lift. I said, well, I didn't know the difference between scissor lift and boom lift. And he said, in 2 weeks, we have the TRA meeting in Austin. I would like you to come as a guest. So my wife and I drove to Austin from Dallas and we attended. And by the time I came back, I already have a handful of machines and probably about 8 scissor lift, and I didn't look back. And it's been working very well. And the only regret is I wish I did that 20 years ago.
That
So
reminds me of my dad saying, best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best
yeah,
time is today. So
yeah,
if people listening today, at least we can move forward today, right?
exactly.
Sounds like the ARA and the TRA has been a big part of your journey. Is that an ARA sticker on your door? Is that I
Yeah,
see that?
yeah, I guess so.
I think so. There you go.
Yeah,
We're big fans of the ARA. They're very, they just serve the industry very well, right? That's what they're very
yeah.
much of service. So you kind of grew up with, in the commercial trucking space, it sounds like, or that was most of your career. Is that right?
Well, no, prior to that, I was in the car business. I was a franchise to Payless Car Sales and Payless Car Rental franchise. And
Yeah.
the car business took a bad turn back in 2008 with the
Yeah.
financial crisis. And I started focusing more on needs than want. And needs was commercial trucks, box trucks, and things like that. And I started doing very well with it. And like I said, the only thing I was missing is getting more deep in the rental and the commercial truck.
Mm.
So that's why I was looking for an insurance company or insurance carrier will insure that. But my background always in the automotive. As a matter of fact, the whole family, we have about 11, 12 car dealership in the DFW area.
Yeah. Very cool. I mean, my background, I don't know if I knew this, was in automotive software, right? And a lot of our team, so I worked at three different companies. Uber's the most well-known one, but several companies that sold software to car dealerships.
Yeah.
Jeff Van Doggen, he was maybe 5 episodes before this at Econo Rent. He came from Motor Minds. There's a lot of people who come from automotive and they look at equipment rental and goes, it's
Yeah.
like an underserved opportunity, right? And I think you saw that when you
it
came
is,
over?
it is, and it's the difference between the cars and equipment rental business. The equipment rental business is more into need. We get customer will call in. I don't like to miss a phone call, so
Mm,
after hours, the office phone forward to my cell phone. So I get calls all the time. I got calls 10 o'clock in the evening. I got calls 6 o'clock in the morning, and I
mm,
don't want to miss a call. And the customers, the only thing I hear from the customer is, "I need this machine by 10 o'clock. I need this machine by
mm,
7 o'clock. I need." So it's a more need business than want.
mm,
And and my philosophy and everything I lecture my guys is, if we service, we'll smile and make sure the machine is running fine and the machine is serving the customer. And if there's an issue with the machine, let's make it up to him with another machine, or let's refund him 50%.
mm,
And I try best as I can to have the customer come back. I'm into customer experience. I
mm.
keep up with reviews. I make sure customers leave good reviews. I respond to the customers. I attend a lot of exhibits. Like I just finished with the Hispanic Contractor Association exhibit. I had a booth over there, and we attract great customers coming in. And the same thing, I did that with the Dallas Build Expo. So that's how I try to put a face with for my company.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could in some sense stop the episode right here because what you just said is the key. Well, there's done 80 of these now and maybe talked to over 1,000 rental companies. The ones that do the best are the ones who are customer obsessed, right? They serve their customers because when you get a call, it's like, hey, I need a skid steer in 3 weeks. It's like, I needed 3 hours,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
less.
Exactly, exactly.
And you're able to respond quickly and serve the customers well. And that's how you can beat the nationals, right? With speed and
Yeah,
customer service.
there's no doubt about it. And really the difference between us and the national, I mean, as you see the cameras over there, if I see a customer behind the counter and if I hear the voice, there's something, I go out there and I see what exactly is. Whatever I need to do to make sure this customer is satisfied, to make sure this customer comes back.
Yeah.
My big thing is having him come back. And that's what I'm working on. And that's a different, I take, of course, credit card. We try best we can minimize the cash customer. We really didn't do much of cash, but we try best as we can to build the book of customers.
Well, if someone comes in during the podcast, we could pause it. So you don't want to use any rentals today. If we need
No,
to,
no,
we
no.
could.
I'm in my office over there. I'm not much involved with behind the counter.
Yeah.
I'm in my office over here. Try to make things happen in the backside, either
Yeah.
buying equipment or building line of career with a bank or talking to somebody like you or this or that. I'm not really much of a customer service over there.
You've been able to work on the business, not in the business, right? That's
That's
what you've been
exactly it.
able to
That's
do. Be
my
the
philosophy.
CEO.
That's my
Yes.
philosophy. Yeah.
Was that hard to get to that point? Like, take me back to the beginning. We even before that. Is this your first business you've started? Have you started
No,
business
I
prior to this?
actually, my background, I came from Egypt. I was 21 years old.
Hmm.
I had a brother living in Bryan, Texas, and I was in college, a second year in college. He sent me an invitation to visit him, and I came over here and just loved it. So he did, the paperwork and ended up getting married over here and stayed in the United States. And my first business I had to actually open a car wash
Hmm.
and quick lube and oil change in Arizona. I built them up. A guy came in and bought the business, and I took the money, started investing a little bit in real estate, and moved to Texas. I have two brothers and two sisters living in Dallas, and I have the twins, and I had Michael, and my sister and my brother said, "You're not moving back to Arizona with these kids. You need to move over
Yeah.
here." And I moved to Texas, and I opened a car dealership, and just kept growing. And like I said, with the burn down with 2008 with the car with the financial crisis, I decided to change direction a little bit with the commercial trucks, and this is where I am right now.
So you've always sort of been an entrepreneur,
Yeah,
like
I
you've
am.
had that in your blood. You didn't have rental in your blood, which a lot of people do.
No.
How did you first hear about equipment rental? How did you really say like, oh, that went from market I now know about to a market I want to start a company in? What was that process like?
Well, I was really, I mean, the commercial truck was getting a little bit harder and harder to get good quality trucks. I was traveling to Indiana all the time to buy equipment from there. I was traveling to a lot of places. And when I was trying to a little bit enhance my revenue from equipment, from truck sales to truck rental.
Mm,
And I was searching in the internet for commercial truck rental, and ARA came up.
mm,
And I reached out to ARA and Leon, the cowboy guy. I don't know, you probably saw him in the auction. I
yeah,
mean, in the
yeah,
trade
yeah,
show all the time.
yeah.
He came in and he looked to my location. My old location was in a good highway traffic. And he said, Mike, you should be in equipment rental. And like I said, I
Mm.
mean, which equipment, Leon? He said, scissor lift, boom lift. I said, well, I didn't know the difference. So I attended the TRA, and from the TRA, I attended every meeting we have with the ARA and the TRA. I built a great relationship with vendors, and so now I do the rentals and I do equipment sales. I found a niche with propane,
Hmm.
so I set up a website for it, and I became a dealer to Lane King, which is a propane bottle manufacturer, and I buy them wholesale and fill them up and sell them to customers. So it's been working very well, you know. And we are now in the second chapter. We're trying to open another location in the Fort Worth area. We are in the Dallas County. We're trying to open a location in Tarrant County, which is a Fort Worth. I have a couple of big vendors behind me. I have Sinapum. I have a couple of big vendors I'm working with. So that should be great.
So it sounds like entrepreneur, worked in the car world for a while, and you met. A lot of people in the rental talk about relationships, right? You met Leon,
Yes.
and he really showed you the power of rental. What about the rental market really grabbed you though? What opportunity did you see?
You know, I really, Kyle, this is not a this is not a quick rich scheme. This is not going to happen overnight. This is going to take some time, and it's going to. That's why it's generation after generation in this business. I feel like this business is the only business have the grandpa and father and the son, and seem like because you build it up, it will be on a cruise control, but it's going to take some time to really
Yeah.
happen. And I feel like I've been in the business now for 7, 8 years, and I see the numbers is moving along. No matter in my way here, I went through the COVID. I went through
Yeah.
all the setback. And in the beginning, when I start, I still was doing the truck sales. So the
Mm.
truck sale was keeping me floating and keeping me going until I got my equipment rental business going. So it's just and I kept juggling between both of them.
So did you have you weren't full time on your business when you started. You were sort of doing two jobs, getting the company going.
Yeah, they both business in the same location. You know, the truck sales and the truck service and the wholesaling, running the cars and trucks in the auction,
Yeah.
buying them from auction to auction, and to just keep me floating. And now I'm 100% in equipment rental. Uh, you know,
Yeah, those first few years are the hardest, I imagine. What point did you go from part-time to full-time? And then when did you start hiring your first person, right? Because now you got, like, a dozen people or so, you're able to take a step back from the day-to-day a little bit. What was that journey going from part-time to full-time to hiring a team? What was that process like?
well, the first couple of years, I had my salespeople and my finance guys in
Yeah.
the truck business that would help me in equipment sales.
Mm,
I get them trained to go to the software. I get them trained to do this, all the stuff needed for the equipment rental. And in 2021, no, I believe in 2022, I basically discontinued the truck and I put
yeah,
110% in the equipment sales.
mm.
When I acquired this location over here in 2023, I was really a full 100% equipment rental operator.
Mm. You seem very relaxed about it now. We talked to some entrepreneurs, it was hair on fire, maybe you're through that. Was it stressful getting started? Were there any sleepless nights getting going?
It was. It's very stressful in the beginning. Like I said, I mean, The fortunate thing is I had the other business was going, and this one over here. And the reason maybe I see myself, it's like, it's funny you said that. I have a nephew of mine came to visit me, take me for lunch a couple of days ago, and he said, Uncle Mike, you look more relaxed now. I said, yeah. The car business is a very stressful business, really stressful. I mean, doesn't matter how successful you are, doesn't matter how many cars you're selling, how much money you making, but a copy. There is always you're not in control. The equipment rental, like I said early, it's based on customers' needs, and I'm always seeing what like for example, we have a chart on the front counter. It's called missing rental, and we
Hmm.
always keep up with the missing rental and see how many time we get calls on this particular machine and we didn't have it, and said, okay, maybe we can start with one. And every time I go to the trade show, the ARA or even the TRA, I have a list. It's called wish list.
Hmm.
That's the kind of stuff we will be looking for. And and God knows I pay my dues of mistakes, and I call
Yeah.
it dumb tax. So I paid my dues with stuff like that, and just continue.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have our dumb tax, and no one's
Yeah,
perfect, and you make mistakes. Biggest thing is you don't make mistakes that take you out of the game. Like make
yeah,
small mistakes,
yeah.
not big mistakes. I'm curious, like why you feel the rental industry is less stressful than automotive. Is it because partly because there's a repeat nature to it? Like if you buy a car, you buy a car every 5 years, but with rental, if you serve your customers well, imagine a large percentage of your revenue for rental is repeat renters. Does that make you feel a little bit better around some of the business cycles?
Well, I mean, you're right in the first. I mean, repeat customers, and if you make the customers happy, and if you keep the customer on the right track and give him the right equipment and treat the customer with respect, treat the customer as, he's the only customer you have. The customers comes back. Go back to the car business. The car business was a depreciating item. If I
Mm,
don't sell that car this
mm,
month, that car is losing $500. So if I
mhm,
buy the car from the auction and the car was a $2,000 profit, if I keep the car on the lot for sale for 2 months, I lost already $1,000. So there is $1,000 went
mm,
away. I don't have that issue over here. If I keep the machine serviced, if I keep the machine washed and cleaned, and if there is a scratch on the machine, I make sure to go to the manufacturer website and buy the right paint so I can paint to that machine. The machine is always going to look good, so I don't have to worry about it.
mm.
And I mean, we have great guys. The culture of here is great. We do very well with forklifts, for example, and the forklifts take a lot of beating. So I found the right paint from manufacturer and I get it. And every time the machine come back, I will touch it up. And so the machine is always like new.
Mm. Interesting. So like the cars, it's like you're almost on the clock always, and you can never
Yeah,
sell enough. You're just
always stressed.
constantly,
Always stressed.
yeah,
You look at your inventory. You have a floor plan, for example, which is inventory finance. They always look at it and said, that car has been sitting in your lot for about 6 months now. You need to pay it off.
yeah.
And if you take it to the auction, the car is not worth what you paid for, and you're always losing 1,000. So it was always chasing the ball. In
Mm.
the equipment rental is different.
There's
Yeah,
a different level of stress
it
in
is.
automotive, and
It is.
as a vendor who built software for rental companies and used to build software for car dealerships, I like this industry a lot better.
Wait,
And maybe
wait.
that's that underlying stress you feel from the dealerships. Everything's got to happen all of a sudden. There's
Yeah, yeah.
it's a different feel. Um,
In the beginning, which is, I think I changed my thinking. In the beginning, I used to be stressed if I bought like a couple of machines and I always see them, they don't have dirt on them. That means the machine is not renting. I always stressed over it. And I learned they're going to get rented sooner or later.
mm,
There is no reason for me to stress over because I have this machine over here is still sitting clean, brand new. Sooner or later, the machine is going to get rented, and it's gonna pay for itself. So I talk to myself into just relax.
yeah, and I think I don't know. We see rental companies everywhere. Texas is like seems like the best market. There's rental companies everywhere. You probably feel a competitive pressure,
It
but
is. It is
I have to imagine the underlying. There's a lot of building happening in Texas. I mean, how's the market been in the Dallas area? It's
just
pretty
crazy,
strong. Yeah,
just crazy. I mean, there's subdivisions going everywhere. I mean,
yeah.
I live like about an hour and 15 minutes away from the store. in North Fort Worth. I mean, used to be I used to drive in the middle of the farming community, the cattle's and horses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now there is subdivisions going everywhere, thousands and thousands of homes, shopping center, commercial properties. So there's a lot of opportunities, and the major infrastructure with the highways. So the big boys, the something
Hmm.
United and all, they are busy with the big infrastructure, and so it's great. So they left the small medium contractor to come to somebody like us.
Yeah. Well, for whatever reason, every third rental company we talk to seems to be from Texas. So
Yeah, yeah.
there's a lot going on. You guys are participating in that. What's your biggest challenge or focus for kind of going into next year? You've got a good business, you're relaxed, you're not the stress. You got a good setup here. What are you thinking about for next year? What's the opportunity? What's the challenge?
Well, my biggest thing is the growth. I mean, my biggest thing is what can I take it from, point A to point B? What I take it from, making 1 million to 2 million, from 2 million to 3 million. That's my biggest thing is the growth, and the only way the growth is going to happen is me exploring a different location, exploring the different areas.
Hmm.
Uh, of course, part of the stress, the only thing I can tell you is it's the theft of equipment. And lately, we have, the location where I am right now. I mean, my old location, they broke the gate and they stole 3 trailers in one night.
Hmm.
They broke into the building. They stole tons of, steel and Makita product. The new location where I am over here, since it used to be a Chase Bank building, so the building is built like Fort Knox. Nobody can get to the building
Yeah.
inside.
There you go.
I'm surrounded by a life area. Like on my left side, there's a big, huge shopping center, and there's people walking back and forth. On the right side, there's a fast food restaurant, and there's people in it all the time. I installed cameras, like you see over here. I have
Yeah.
cameras everywhere. Uh, so it's really it's a it's a learning curve, and it's a matter of keep working on the growth.
Do you feel like for on the theft piece, like one of the biggest improvements to theft reduction was physically getting to a more secure building, like just moving physically to a different
It is.
building?
It is. That's a big part of it. And another part of it, I had a meeting with the ARA over here. They came in.
Okay.
I gathered everybody over here, and I actually kept asking if the manufacturer need to really start working with us, need to
Mm,
tweak the machines. I just received 3 Bobcats about half an hour ago, brand new Bobcats, and they came in with a keyless entry. There's no keys anymore.
mm,
You have to put a number in it, and every time you rent it to a customer, you change that number. So the customer basically, in the past, anybody have one key for Bobcat. You can start a Bobcat anywhere from Dallas, Texas, all the way to Oklahoma City.
mm,
So the manufacturers, I think they started really paying attention today. What can we do to really make it secure? Of course, every machine I buy to have the telematic in it, and I add my own too. So basically, I double the trouble. I make sure that manufacturer's telematic plus our own installed in the machines. Uh, and it's just one of this kind of thing. You continue insisting on the customer need to take responsibility.
yeah,
Most of the customer, they take the machine. I'm going through a customer, he took a machine and he left it on a job site. Somebody went over there and scooped the machine away, and the customer said, "Well, I don't know. It's not my fault." No, no, it's your fault. You rented the machine from me, and fortunately, I have one of my daughters. She's an attorney. She said, "Dad, I'll take care of it," and she's going after him. So I'm getting a free legal service,
yeah,
and hopefully, the customer. The latest conversation yesterday, that his insurance company is willing to pay. So we'll see where we'll go from here.
yeah,
But that's one of the stress only thing. How can I keep my equipment from get stolen?
yeah. And that was a big thing in 2024. It felt like, and I hadn't heard much about it, but it started to come back up. I had dinner with a rental company in Chicago 2 nights ago, and he said it's crazy in Chicago. Chicago's is a pretty bad hotspot, and like I don't know how often, but it feels like every week something's being stolen. And
Yeah.
the challenge they're having is working with the authorities too. Sometimes, at least based on what area you're in, they're not as helpful. That's not my problem. It's a civil case. It's like, well, it's not. It's theft, right? Um,
No, I built a good relationship with the city of Irving, the police department, the theft unit, the automotive theft unit. I built a good relationship with them, and anytime there is something, I reach out to the detective, the one he's, and he will pull it up. Say, "Hey, Mike, this is over here, this is there." So it's really, I'm not eliminating it, I'm
Yeah.
minimizing it. So.
So theft is an issue, but the big opportunity is growth. And do you feel like you've sort of tapped out on the growth at this location, and really the next step is a second location for you guys?
Yes, that this location is perfect for I am to service the area over here. The next
Yeah.
location, I would like to get a little bit more in a heavier equipment,
Mhm.
have big couple of big trailers, to move heavy equipment. I did joint venture with a couple of rental company, and they bring me all the heavy equipment, the stuff I can afford to buy myself right now. They bring it to me, and if I have a customer interested in piece of equipment, I reach out to them. They usually in 2 days or 3 days max, I will have the equipment shipped to my location. So,
And,
uh,
and
so the growth is just it's coming along.
and as you think about the second location, I assume you're thinking about a cold start versus. Are you thinking about acquisition at all? Does that cross your mind, or you want to start it from scratch?
No, I really, because I'll be honest with you, I build the name, and there's no one
Yeah.
around when it sell.
Hmm.
Everybody's building their own brand, and and the problem is buying an existing location. You're competing with the bigger guys. The
Yeah.
Sun State, they buying all the small stuff. Of course, the Sun Belt is buying the 10, 5, 6 locations. I think I really built that track of customers, and I really built the name, and I think I can move in another location and build it. Will take us shorter time to get there than we are right now.
Yeah. So start from scratch. And are you thinking how far from your main location? Do you have you think like 3 hours,
Well,
20 minutes?
yeah, no, we have a rule of thumb over here. We do a 25 to 30-mile radius. The Dallas Fort Worth is a metroplex, congested.
Yeah.
So we are in Dallas. My next location I'm looking at is North Fort Worth. It's probably about 45 minutes away from here, or probably an hour in a traffic from here. So it would be good. I can actually move equipment from one location to the other locations. So that's the game plan.
Yeah. And that's what we've heard also. It's like you generally want to be within an hour or two so you can move equipment.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, episode before this, Dino Caparco at Taylor Rental in Rhode Island. Have you met Dino before?
No.
You like him a lot. You guys a lot in common. But the episode just before this, he's doing the same thing. Going second location in Rhode Island. He's going to start it. Same thing, about an hour away. It seems like a lot of that. Once you get to one location, you kind of get it up and running. You get comfortable. It's predictable revenue. Next, then you go to second location.
Yeah.
What's your end goal? Like, do you go to two and stop, or do you keep going to three, four?
I
What's
didn't
the
know.
end goal?
I really didn't know. I you know, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm just gonna build it and keep on it. I'm one of these people who very active. I mean, my
Yeah.
longest days is the weekend, and I'm always busy doing some things in my home, and
Yeah. A lot of people obviously, you probably have gotten the calls, right? But, acquisition, what's
all the
the end
time.
goal? Would you wanna sell it, or you wanna pass it down to your family, keep running it? Or
You
are you
know,
like, "I wanna do this another 30 years. I have no plans
no,
at all."
I'd be honest with you. I like to see myself at least do it another 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, at least 10 years. I can put 10 years on myself on that, and I think by then I will have two location or three location, and then I can make the move as far as where I go from there.
Yeah, you got a long way to go. You're just getting
Yeah,
started. Um, a lot of your growth, so you're talking about second location. A lot of your growth to date, I know, has been through your digital marketing, which I know, Mike, you've been very passionate about with SEO,
right.
digital ads. How important has that been to your growth so far?
Well, I mean, it's in any business, location. So my location is really bringing a lot of walk-in customers and a lot of repeat
Yeah,
customers. Uh, uh, Digital marketing is really I keep up with reviews, like I was mentioning earlier. I keep up with reviews in a major scale. I keep up with my Google My Business profile, making sure I have everything up to date. I have a Google ad team. We have 5, 6 campaigns going in the same times. We tweak the campaign based on the availability of equipment.
Mm.
We had probably about 2 dozen forklifts on the ground. I increased the expense on forklift rental. All of a sudden, I had 2 left. So I'm continue tweaking exactly. I walk outside of there and see how many units, and I look on the board and see how many units have been reserved, and I tweak my ads based on that.
How often are you doing that? Is that like weekly, daily?
I think probably every other week or so.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you're doing dynamic marketing in a sense, right?
yeah,
You look
I
at your
do.
availability, change your ads. And are
Yeah.
you running the ads yourself or do you have a
No, no, no.
partner that
I
does that?
have a group actually out of Canada doing it,
Yeah.
but I have access to everything with them. So I'm uh, continue working on.
Interesting. So a lot
Yeah,
of people will just pull certain keywords, equipment rental near me. You're going very specific based on what equipment you have
yeah.
low utilization on.
No, I do. I basically I focus on what equipment I have. I mean, it doesn't really matter what it is. It's like 40-foot ladders, for example. In certain time of the year in the holidays, I push ladders rental because the Christmas lights and stuff like that. So, I keep a, coming from the car business, there is a
Yeah.
lot of ideas in the car business.
Yeah. Well, a lot of rental companies, I would say, sort of struggle with digital marketing to some extent. I don't know many that are doing the dynamic level that you are, where weekly or every other week. I mean, that seems like that's been a differentiator for you guys.
No, I really I'm the news rental operator in the Metroplex.
Yeah.
My competitor, they are 50 years in the business,
Yeah.
30 years in the business. So I really feel like I don't want to wait to be 30 years to catch up as far as build the business. So we are in a digital age right now. So I keep up with stuff like that. I keep up with the SEOs. I keep up with where I am on my maps, where I am on my reviews, where I am as far as and I have call tracking. So every phone calls come to the company, I track it and I listen to the calls. I actually had a call coach. The young lady will listen to the calls and call the guys and give them a hard time. I don't appreciate the way you talk to this customer or this or that. So it's actually, and I look for whatever any angle to really grow the business. I look for it.
Yeah. Interesting. And what advice would you give a rental company who's not doing a lot of digital marketing? What would you say to someone like
I
that?
mean, we are in an age right now. If you're not out there, if you're not out in everybody's face, something is wrong. You need to be out there. You need to be more. Anytime doesn't matter where you are. If you're looking for a forklift, easy equipment gonna come up. If you're looking for a scissor lift, 40-foot scissor lift, easy equipment will come up. And that's my goal. My goal is to be more, like GE to the refrigerators or Mercedes to the
Yeah.
luxury cars. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're the first name that comes up. You
Yeah.
also, I know you post a lot on LinkedIn. Do you do Facebook? What are some other channels that have been effective for you guys?
I mean, LinkedIn, of course, does very, very well,
Yeah.
especially with the managers and the the owners of the companies. The Facebook, I have probably 4 or 5 campaigns going on at the same time in Facebook
Hmm.
and Marketplace, Instagram. Uh, I have a company that's keeping up with my name and my phone number, so they call citation. I'm sure you everywhere. So things like that I keep up with.
Would you say I mean, if you had to give a list of top 3 reasons you've been successful, would digital marketing be in your top 3? You got to feel like that's
Oh,
helped
definitely.
leapfrog you guys up.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, digital marketing. I mean, we didn't have the yellow pages back. I mean, I know you are much younger than me. The yellow pages bad, and you
Yeah.
used to compete where you are in the yellow pages. Now we are in the marketing. You got to keep up with stuff like that. You cannot
Yeah.
just, you know, get the website, turn the website on, and just leave it alone. I mean,
And I think that's why obviously there's all these like AAA, ABC,
Yeah,
ACE
now that
rental
is back in
companies.
old days. Yeah,
Yeah, because the
because you
phone
have to
book.
be the yeah, you have to be the
Yeah.
first one in the phone book.
Yeah, you can almost if you see someone's name and it starts with an A or an
Yeah,
AAA,
yeah, yeah.
you can pretty much guarantee they're at least 30 years old, right?
Yeah, they are.
And
Yeah,
yeah, easy
exactly.
rent out. You're not like, I don't play that game. Easy equipment. You're not.
Yeah, yeah.
Different categories. So, with this all the AI stuff, have you thought about that? How that changes marketing at all? Does that cross
Well,
your
it
mind?
does. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm surrounded between my kids and my son-in-law. They're really tech geniuses.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they're always giving me these tips, and I use AI to respond to my reviews. For example, I use
mm.
AI to write content and the Facebook ads. No, definitely, I'm not really 100% knowledgeable, but every day I learn something new with it, and I think AI is going to be the game changers.
I totally think so. We just got back from several meetings in California with about 20 rental companies and about AI, and obviously in our world, which is rental software. I think our belief is going to be a total game changer in a way that. I mean, Mike, you probably realize this. We've talked about this before, but automotive's been about 10 years ahead from a technology perspective, right?
Yeah, more
And
than 10 years.
10,
Yeah,
20 years, right,
yeah,
in many ways, and I think what we're seeing with some of the stuff coming out is I think rental may be ahead of automotive with this next generation of these agents and AI software, and I think even past the nationals, which has never happened, right? The national have been driving a lot of the innovation with the customer portal and the app and the texting and e-commerce. I think things are changing in 2026, which is exciting. I think AI is going to change the game for independent rental companies.
yeah. I believe so. I mean, the only difference is automotive. They have more money to spend on advertising. I mean, it's like back in the old days when I was in the car business, I was spending $20,000 a month in
Yes.
advertising all day long. Of course, I'm not spending even spend a little bit more than 10% on that. But in the automotive, there's a lot of money allocated to advertising.
Yeah.
So I think that's what will take it. And again, the difference between automotive and equipment, like we said in the beginning, is if you build a clientele, they come back every week or they come back every other week. In the automotive, you see a customer every 3 years, or an average repeat customer always 4 years, because most
Yeah.
people they keep in the car for 60 months all day long.
Yeah.
So it's a different animal. But I think the rental, if the big franchises started advertising, like we have a couple of local local big companies, they advertising on the radios. So
Yeah.
they building a lot of awareness. You don't have to go buy a boom lift. You can rent it from. So they said, oh, wait a minute, I can rent it. So let me search, and then
Yeah.
I come in the picture.
Yeah, and I think, because of the 4-year sales cycle, every 4 years, right, you have to capture that customer. You have to spend a lot
Yeah,
of money on the ad.
yeah,
With
yeah,
rental, you just need to get them in your door, and if you
yeah.
do a good job, they should never leave,
They come
right?
back. They come back
Yes.
because really they're not asking for much. I mean, the problem when I had in the car business is they will buy a car, they know they buying a 100,000 mile cars and they expect it to be it's a brand new, but it's not. It's not new car. It's a used car. So the expectation is different. In the equipment rental, they come over here and said, hey, I need a machine to move some stuff around tomorrow, and you bring it over there. If the machine does the job, they are happy. They're not asking for anything else.
Yeah, that's right. Um, well, last topic here I wanna talk to you about, Mike, real quick is I know that your team and your family is very important to you.
Yes.
You got about a dozen people in the company. How do you build a great culture? How do you, you got a high performance company, you gotta have results, right? At the same time, be able to treat people almost like family. How have you been able to balance that and build that culture?
Well, I mean, my door is always open. I have great communication with the guys. I mean, the end of the month we have like a certain bonus structure, built in the company, and every time somebody will meet and greet a customer and treat the customer very well outside, and the customer will turn around and leave a review. I go outside of there and make sure he have he have something in his hand to buy a 12 pack of beer or to buy a lunch tomorrow with it.
Yeah.
uh, Really, continue telling how much you appreciate the person, how much it is, and make them feel the success of this company is his success. The failure of this company is going to be his failure. And we all work together to the point as a family. And anytime I see a relationship between one of the employer and the other is going sour for a reason or other, I interfere. I get in the middle of it. What's the problem? And whatever I need to fix it, it's happened to me. I'm the oldest one at the group. So
Yeah.
everybody's looking at me, look like the old man in the group. So everybody
Yeah.
look at me, look like I'm the father of the group.
Yeah.
So it worked out very well. So, and I don't ask anybody to do anything without me getting involved with it.
Mm.
My wife and the kids always giving me a hard time about I'm always sometimes, come home with dirty clothes and always getting, why are you doing this? I said, well, I'm not going to ask somebody to do something unless I am in the middle with them. I have to hold it from the other end. And that's my philosophy all along.
Mm. Servant leadership, you wouldn't do anything that you wouldn't ask anyone to do something you wouldn't do, right? And
No,
you're not above any task, right? And you were the first person to probably do every single job in the company at some point that you
that's
could.
correct. That's correct.
And when you
Yeah.
when you find people who are bought in and have the ownership mentality, is that something that you look for? Is that a character trait where you get someone, or is that something that you have to uh, train and coach someone when they get in the door?
Well, there is certain things you cannot coach, and there is no certain
Yeah,
things you cannot trade.
yeah,
Someone with the heart, and someone have to get go. And some people they have the tendency to just slack. And I call them on it. I'm very outspoken person. If somebody I see them, they just cutting corner, I call them on it, and they make sure say, hey, Mike is gonna figure it out. Mike is gonna see me, and the camera is gonna come outside.
yeah,
And I feel like I don't need to be your dad. I need you to own it.
yeah.
And my philosophy is you need to own it. You need to, this is yours. You're not here. I don't want anybody there for just a paycheck. I want people there
Mm,
to see the company succeed.
yeah,
And when we do good, I want people to have the happiness. When I have a brand new equipment comes in, everybody's so excited and everybody want to take a picture next to it.
yeah.
And that's what I always look for.
That's awesome. It sounds like you got a group of people who are very proud of what they're doing, and there's obviously if you said, "Hey, we're not paying anybody, you're gonna work for free." Well, no one's gonna come. There's a financial aspect of
No,
why people go to work, of course, right? But
no,
like the
no.
the thing that really keeps people there outside the paycheck is the sense of pride of what they're
Right.
building, right? And you've been able to build that, maintaining a high bar, not tolerating people squabbling, right? And you're
No,
in
no.
the weeds doing the work too.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I make sure, I mean, I have three delivery trucks. They all wrapped with all the, if you go to my website and you see, not the website, the Facebook page,
Yeah,
I make sure the guys is proud of the equipment. I'm always trying to, if you have an issue with the equipment, you need to come back to me and tell me about it. And, as I learn as I go, and, it's been working out very well.
yeah. Well, Mike, congrats on your growth. Not every rental company makes it this far. You got one successful location. Thinking about the second one here. Last question I ask everyone: best career advice you've gotten that's helped shape your success and what you're building today.
Well, I mean, you got to be happy with what you're doing. And if you're not happy and if you're miserable, come to work, it's not worth to even come to work. I think you need to be happy and you need to see, and you always need to be looking to the bigger picture and the bigger goal.
Mm,
And I see myself succeeding. I see myself, I was watching a show a couple of days ago. Eddie Murphy was on one of the late night show, and
yeah,
Eddie Murphy made a comment to the guy, I don't remember, was Stephen Covell, whatever it is. He was telling him, I know I'm going to be famous. And the guy turned around and
mm,
said, how you know? He said, I just have a feeling. I know I was going to be famous from day one. And that's my philosophy here. I know I'm going to succeed, and I know Easy Equipment is going to really do great. And the future, either Easy Equipment is going to sold or going to be left to the rest of the family. That's something I didn't know about it yet. But I know if we keep going on the right track, we keep going and doing whatever we're doing right now, I think there's nothing going to happen except success.
yeah. Well, and it reminds me of what Henry Ford said: whether you think you can or can't, you're right, right. And it starts with that internal belief as the
Yeah,
founder, right?
you have to all the time. And on my philosophy, I mean, I told you earlier, when I came from Egypt, I didn't speak English. I don't have any money when I came in, and I grow it with $1 at a time. And I took a chance,
Yeah,
and I took a lot of risks. And some of the risk paid off, and some of the risk, trust me, didn't pay off. And but
yeah,
the end of the day, evaluate. I think did very well. Great family and great group of guys over here. So I think it's been working very well.
That's what the great thing about America is if you put the work in and take the risk, you can make it, especially in equipment
You do.
rental more so than other
You
industries. Right.
you do. It's like everything else. And equipment rental, really, like I said earlier, I wish I did that 20 years ago. But late better than ever. So I'm in it right now, and I think it's growing, and I think it's growing fast. And I'm learning the curve, which one is working, which one is not working, and if it's not working, I'm not married to it. I move on and get something else.
Yeah, that's all part of the journey. Well, Mike, thank you for coming on today. Thank you for sharing everything and your journey from 0 to 1 and now maybe 2 locations. So appreciate everything, Mike.
It's a pleasure talking to you, Carl, and we know each other for years, and definitely I congratulations for your success too. So
Yeah,
look forward to see you in the future.
that's right. All right. Thank you, Mike.